Alright. So by the time you're watching this, it's gonna be a week late. A little. But yeah, so this is my thoughts and my review of AEW Collision. So yeah, at the time recording this, it would have been just a few days after the show in Chicago in the United Center and AEW Collision. What I like, what I really like about AEW Collision is that there's some things that they try to differentiate from what you normally see on Dynamite and even Rampage to an extent. Like when you look at this show's presentation, it had red ropes. It had a slightly different stage setup, not too different from what you see on Dynamite, but it's a little noticeable one. And even the commentary, which is a big plus. Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuire, I thought they did really good together as a commentary. For Nigel McGuire is like, I don't know if he was like NXT Nigel McGuire, so commentary where he was really, really good on commentary, but he was still his normal self commentary, so that's a plus also. They had Jim Ross there only for the main event portion of it, which, yeah, it was kind of the only thing they could do because, man, I feel bad for that poor bastard. Like, yeah, rough break. Like, apparently he had a fall. He was like under the weather, and it was noticeable when you listen to them and how his voice wasn't quite to the normal what he usually speaks. Like, it was noticeable how much sick he was in his voice, and even like when he fought, you can see he had black eyes. Which, oh, jeez, like, can't imagine what he went to get there. And I commend for him trying to like do his damage to get on this show because he wanted to be on this show, which is super admirable. But you can even listen, like, he had no fucking business be out there with the condition and shape he was in. So yeah, like, feel bad. So I hopes my thoughts and prayers are with Jim Ross and that he's in good spirits in the next few weeks and he can go back to his normal good old JR himself. So yeah. So AEW. So as far as the show itself, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Like, the Chicago crowd and being in the United Center definitely helped with the atmosphere of this show. Like, if this would have been any other crowd, it probably wouldn't hit the same for a debut episode. So yeah, and it's gonna be interesting once the crowds are like for the collision show when after this Chicago crowd, because the Chicago crowd for this venue, they definitely help a lot with this, with my journalists, as they were pretty much into throughout a good portion of this event, a good chunk of this event. And if the crowd are enjoying it, then we, the viewers at home, should enjoy it. So yeah, so yeah, like there wasn't like a huge story development on this show, which for a first show I kinda get it, but hopefully within the next shows they can have some big story development on. So yeah, and yeah, and when I said like when the crowds, it's gonna be interesting to see what the crowds are for the next few weeks. That goes to pertain one person that came out in the opening promo of the show. Good old Chicago made Punk. CM Punk made his return to AEW at this show in his hometown Chicago. Like, we all knew he was gonna get a God's welcome by the Chicago crowd. Because, of course. But it will be interesting how the crowds are received to him following this show. That's gonna be the real test. And yeah, like, so Punk came out, he had his shaved head and everything. He had the shoes on his neck, he got a little bag on it, which he did mention towards the ending portion of the promo. But, yeah. So, he pretty much looked his own normal self for this show. Which, I mean, he looks practically, with the shape body, practically looks the same as when he was like a heel, when he was WWE champion, like a decade ago. He pretty much looked, pretty much accurately the same with the shade head. But he did look, no, he did look good, I must say. For a middleman, like, he could have aged a lot fucking worse. Like for me, like, he could have looked a hell of a lot worse. But there he is. Even with the and he had a t-shirt installed everywhere, which it's quite funny how he made a shirt about everywhere. The last time he was in Chicago, Larry was in there with Punk, with that all out brawl shit happened. So yeah. So there, here is CM Punk. Grasped the mic and he said, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you guys heard, but I'm tired of being nice. Ooh, he's not nice, apparently. Which isn't been his whole attitude for, I don't know, 10, 15 years now? Excuse me, like, yeah, like, has he always been this way? Just saying. So, he's been gone for 10 months with a torn triceps. He said that this is a business of grown-ups and not popularity contests. And this is why he said this is a professional wrestling business. That, my friends, why he came back is because wrestling business. You're out here to make money. So yeah, he talks about his younger self. If the puncher, he thought he could sort out venues like the United Center and like his near present, and that he could have not done this without all the fans. And he says that there are some that hate him for the same reasons that the people that love him. Basically, like, he pretty much says promo, You can cheer me, you can boo me, you can love me, you can hate me. Like, he says like his near presence around make people uncomfortable. But yeah, and he said like, here, look at some notes from what he said. He said he points out the different signs in the crowd. He said that wrestling today is filled of counterfeit bucks, and he's the one that built Philip. That was a cool quote, I must say, for him. That was pretty clever on his part. And then he also let the fans continue to cheer him when he told it like you can love him, you can hate him. And so I got some shit because in Chicago. And like he tells Chicago like what he will change. And this is the big talking point of this entire promo segment from him. He said like he will always speak the truth and never compromise. He will never apologize for what he is. He said there are people that think they're only apologizing. He said he's going to be a bigger man. He said he's sorry that the guys are bigger than the wrestlers that you like. And to ask him where is he telling lies. That's where he can repeat himself like when he has the red bag that could think that can think what he says he is and that it's his and they all have to beat him for it, and that he said until someone can beat him for what he's carried this bag, they belong on this bag, and that there are some people that want him to hang up the boots, and he says until they beat him, until someone can fill his boots, they belong on his feet. Tell me where I'm telling lies. That was a bit talking. So the bag that he was carrying is talking about pretty much the things Steve hinted like he has the AEW World title belt that he practically never lost because he got stripped of it when he won it all out because he fucking completed his torn triceps and had to vacate the title. And yeah, he said he was never been for it. And the promo itself, I thought it came out as normal Punk promo as you can possibly be. Like, he didn't say any groundbreaking stuff or the things that you will want him to start talking about pertaining toward the elite and stuff. He didn't mention by name, and pretty much because he can't really do that. Like, he signed those NDAs apparently that he can't really talk about much about the elite. Like, yeah, like, it's kind of, it's a little messy. Still, like, can't believe they haven't put up some stuff about Punk and the elite. So, yeah, but the crowd are happy to see him. And for the most part, I kinda did even. I can kinda get seeing the risk of bringing this guy back after the way he handled himself. And good on him. He talked about in the interview with ESPN, which, man, that people got worked up before that day. Like, from when Mike Johnson, PW Insider said, like, this wasn't going to be a good look for AEW. Which it really, like, it really wasn't that controversial interview he did on ESPN. It was a fucking interview article anyway. But he said on that ESPN interview that he felt bad for what he did at that brawl out with him dearly, and he apologized to Tony Khan, which good for him of owning up his mistake for what how he acted. Like he pretty much acted like a pretty immature D-bag. Like he came out like as a total whiny a-hole, pretty much. So yeah, so good on him. The promo itself was good, and it's kind of good to see him back. So, and him talking about the band, but similarly, he's talking about the AEW title. How he said like, until someone can beat him for the title, what's on his back is his. Which kind of tells me that CM Punk versus MJF, the World Champion, Part 3, is almost looking inevitable. It's pretty much a certainty that it will happen eventually. I don't know if it's later this year or earlier next year, but you can clearly tell that it's going to happen. And I hope. And look, I kind of even don't want to Punk win the belt from MJF. Like, there's like the last time Punk was the world champion, Tony Khan got burned twice. He got burned when he was injured or through his. It was a freak accident. He had to crown a whole interim champion. That kind of became a massive one. And then the second one, he had to strip him because he was completely injured and throwing triceps. So let's hope they don't put any belts on Punk anytime. Like, you don't know if that guy is even too awesome to be in this spot at this point. So he can certainly challenge MJF, and I'm totally all for it, but just don't put the belt back on him when the last two times you did, you got burned. So, yeah. And so, that was happening. But it was a good promo for him, I would say, from CM Punk. So, yeah, let's drive into the first match of Collision. As for the TNT Championship, Wardlow defending against Luchasaurus. This is continuing his feud with Christian Cage, which it's pretty much been Wardlow against Christian Cage, where Wardlow be the background player on it, and the match itself was fine. It wasn't great or anything. For big man wrestling, it was good. It was, well, I don't know about good, but it was plausible. It was fine. It was decent, I guess. So yeah, they did their thing, and they put all the kind of sauce for this TNT title match. And you get to the finish where Christian grabs a camera from the photographer. He grabs it while the referee being distracted, nails Wardlow with it. Luchasaurus gets up, pins Wardlow 1, 2, 3. Luchasaurus is the new TNT champion. Yeah, so Luchasaurus is the brand new TNT champion. Christian Cage comes out to it and it's all celebrating. Like he grabbed the championship and practically saying like he won this belt for him. So I kind of get the idea of like wanting to have like a bit tired in the opening match to have that anything can happen feel to it. So gotta go, and I guess it's cool for Luchasaurus to get this run for Grayson and to have this run with TNT champion, but man, I feel bad for fucking Wardlow. Like, it seems like every time he loses the TNT title, his star power like decreases more and more every time he loses it. Like, he has regressed every single time he lost the belt. Like, it's not like he's over. Like, he's still over to an extent with the crowd. But if you listen to the crowds for him now compared to a year ago, like, there's no fucking comparison. Like, holy shit. Like, he drops the belt in November, gets back in March, immediately loses it like 3 days fucking later, gets belt, then gets the belt back like a month later, and now he tries to fucking lose his soul. It's like, seriously, AEW, like, enough. Like, let's not give, like I said, let's not give Punk any more ones with the world title. Please don't fucking give Will another fucking TNT title that will ultimately mean absolutely nothing. Please. Just hit, frankly, hit the reset button on that guy. Like, holy fuck, because I don't know what's the worst that can happen to this dude right now. Like, holy shit, like, how the money has fallen for Warren is just unbelievable. Yeah. So, we come back from it. So, the next match, let's see, so, the next 2 matches involves people that we haven't seen normally on Dynamite appear on this collision. They made their returns. They debuted for the first time in 2023. You get Buddy Matthews against Andrade El Idolo. Andrade was pretty much was over with the Chicago crowd and was kind of treated as a babyface. As when the last time we kind of saw, he was pretty much a heel. So that's kind of telling that the fan kind of makes Andrade a little bit. So yeah, then they had a pretty much really good match. It was actually the match of that night. Buddy Matthews against Andrade, like, you can tell they work really hard in the ring. They have really good chemistry in the ring, and for what I saw, I enjoy it. And like Buddy Matthews, I think, I know he started with House of Art, but he kind of showed he can be more than just a background player in the House of Art. He can be more than that. And Andrade, kind of the same thing. He had like a stable of him when he was on TV back months before, but he showed, yeah, like, he has some glimmers of the NXT days of Andrade where he was really damn good in the ring. So they had a nice match. Andrade wins. Can't have pretty much nice things said about it. So yeah, so we come back. We got another match with another return with Tony Nese in the ring with Mark Sterling. They make fun of the Chicago people, the Chicago crowd. And out comes the Redeemer, called Mero. yes, Miro comes back in 2023. And yeah, I pretty much missed the fuck out of this. So, like, yeah, like, and the crowd pretty much felt the same as he came out, and the crowd was pretty much happy to see him. Like, he has been missed. Like, his last few bits when in like 9 months ago they didn't make a good use of him, in my opinion. They didn't make the most out of him. But for this show, it seemed like they got on the right track with Miro, and he squashes Tony Nese as he kind of should, because Tony Nese, I mean, he's Tony Nese. What more I can say about Tony Nese? He's there to play the fiddle for people like Miro, which he did his part nicely. And Miro pretty much squashes him. He has a camel clutch and Mason tap out, and I surely hope that they could get on track with this dude, because he could be something for that company. And yeah, just give him more TV time on him, please. That's more I can ask. And with Collision now, hopefully he can get more TV time, as he might not would have on Dynamite, because Dynamite kind of grants too much on it with too many people. But hopefully with Collision, they can make some good use TV time out of him. So the next match is the Outcast AEW World Champion Tony Storm with Ruby Soho against Willow Nightingale and Scott. Sorry for the pronunciation. Willow Nightingale. That's her name. And Sky Blue, which is the hometown crowd, the hometown girl, as she's from Chicago. And it was an average, okay tag team match. I think this was just more than to give spotlight to Sky Blue in her hometown. And I must say, Sky Blue has grown on me just bit by bit. Like, I don't think she's like there yet with the level of women's wrestlers, but she's starting to make a believer out of me, and the crowd seems to feel the same as I do, as they were really into everything Sky Blue did, and she won the match for them. So yeah, and hopefully they continue building up and pushing her more, as she could be a big player for that women's division, which they kind of need everything and anything at this point. So yeah, so we come back. There was a video package for Ricky Starks entering the over Hart Cup Found Tournament, and I think he's my early pick to win this entire thing. Just my opinion. So you had an in-ring segment with the Acclaim, which is pretty much standard stuff with the Acclaim. The crowd always happy to see it, because everyone lost the Acclaim. They did the Sesame Daddy. It was all normal entertaining stuff for the Acclaim. Like, but I will say, like, good for Billy Gunn. Really, like, I think he's 58 at this point, and this entire run with the Acclaim has pretty much rejuvenated his career in a way that we didn't see this coming from many people. Like, he seems to be having a ton of fun with the Acclaim. So good for Billy, I must say. So then the main event, the 6-man tag, well, this whole show was Billy O'Reilly, was Bullet Club Gold members Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Samoa Joe versus the World Tag Team Champions of AEW, FTR, and CM Punk. FTCM Punk for this one. And this was a good 6-man tag team match. I will say CM Punk in the ring. I kind of glad he didn't try to go too much, considering when the last time he was there, he was hurt. He was hurt like when he, like I said, when he won the title the first time, he had a freak accident. He had to pretty much wrestle that very same match. Like he had an entry, he had a freak accident, and they had to wrestle 6-man tag. And then when he came back, he had the full-on match with John Moxley at All Out in September. He got hurt, so I'm glad he didn't try to do too much. And he didn't do too much, but I kind of glad he didn't, because it was, there's always a risk. There's kind of always go, can he stay healthy? Like, that was like kind of one of the main concerns that Punk gave back to the ring. Can he stay healthy? So, and I think doing this has meant that it's kind of perfect for him at this point for his return, to see what he could do. So, yeah, so Punk really didn't embarrass himself. Like, I was kind of afraid he would have, but he didn't, so I'm kind of glad on that. There was a good action here for FDR, the Bullet Club Gold members. The crowd was really amped up to see CM Punk versus Samoa Joe in the way, and it was really special, I must tell you. And Samoa Joe really lay into CM Punk, and even got me excited. Got me excited for a potential program for CM Punk Samoa Joe. Apparently, CM Punk wants to work a program with Joe, and that would be awesome. And thinking about the promos between the both of them is, words can I describe how excited of the trajectory of a CM Punk Samoa Joe battle, promo battle. Like, oof, that would be tremendous stuff. And I must say, like, when they do meet the first time again, because it's been a long history between Punk and Joe that goes back to the early days, I think, of Ring of Honor, like 2004, 2005. And this really made a name for both guys, Punk and Joe. So, but in that history, always, Punk has never quite able to beat Samoa Joe. Like, they've been smashing with their base on draws, but Samoa Joe always seems to get the better of Punk when they met always. And I would kind of like to see continuing when the first match of Punk and Joe of many years happens again. I would kind of like to see Joe beat Punk just to continue that story. Like, one I made a multi-match Iron Man. Just my opinion. So, yeah, so they did a stuff, and Punk came in, clean house, and hit the GTS on Juice Robinson and pissed off the ring for the babyface thing. So it was pretty much a solid match. Punk they all much of it, but hopefully he can maintain staying healthy and staying fit throughout the duration of this run, of however long it's going to be. So there's that, and that's pretty much it for Collision. Really, pretty much a fun show. I don't think it was like a groundbreaking show, but it was just fun. And that's pretty much the best and nicest thing I can say about this show. It just felt fun, and it was fun, and it felt fun. Like, this was enjoyment. I had pretty much a good time watching the show, and made me want to come back, want to watch more of AEW Collision. And that's the best thing I can say. And they didn't do, like I said, any story development. There wasn't too much of it, but for what it did, it made sense. And this felt like a show that didn't feel try to do the same thing as it may as well be on Dynamite or on Rampage. But for now, this was a really good show and pretty enjoyable. That's all I can say. So, they're signing off for Collision. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell me what you thought about AEW Collision in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Maínez, and I approve this message.